today I will be making banana bread. I have these 2 old brown soft bananas. They're about to go bad. So I either freeze them or I make banana bread. Banana bread's the better option. Flour, sugar, eggs, vanilla extract. I'm gonna try using some cream cheese. The recipe calls for sour cream, but I don't have any. Baking soda, salt, and butter. And you also need a bread pan and some cooking spray. I'm gonna get that. So you will need to preheat the oven, but I never understand why they say preheat the oven before you even start mixing anything, because the oven's always sitting there for like 10 minutes. It always takes way more time to mix than it does for your oven to preheat. Come on. Anyway, first you need to melt the butter. So you need half a cup of butter, which is, I believe, a stick. Is half a cup of butter a stick? Let's look. Half a cup of butter is 1 stick. I think I'm gonna go for a little less butter. Grosses me out a little bit to throw a whole stick. So I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tablespoons of butter. And so I'm gonna go ahead and melt that. I don't have a microwave, so I just put it in the toaster oven. And it does help if you cut up the butter a little bit into smaller pieces. So I'm gonna cut that up. The recipe calls for half a cup of sour cream. So I'm going to throw in some of this cream cheese in with the butter, because why not? I don't really know how much, like a quarter of the package I'm gonna throw in with the butter just to melt, because it's not gonna mix very easily. So I'm going to throw that in the toaster oven, let that melt. I like to clean up as I go. My mother always taught me how to keep a clean kitchen. So while we wait, I am gonna spray, get my pan ready. You can use butter or you can use spray. So we are going to need 2 eggs. And if you didn't know this, eggs are considered, eggs are obviously a wet ingredient, but sugar is also a wet ingredient. I'm not gonna separate my wet and dry ingredients because I don't know if it makes that much of a difference, but if you didn't know, sugar is a wet ingredient. So you're supposed to mix the melted butter and cream cheese in our case, and you need 1 cup of sugar. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of sugar. Thing about making banana bread, I always feel bad about myself because I see the ingredients go in. They are not good for you. I'm gonna go ahead and crack these eggs in. 2 eggs. I'm gonna wash my hands. I am going to use a big fork because eventually we'll need to mash the bananas. So I'm gonna mix this. We also need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. You don't have to measure it out. I like to measure it out. So this is a 1/2 teaspoon measure because we're gonna need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So, oops, that was a little much. Go. More vanilla the better. I eventually want to make my own vanilla, but I heard that it takes a while and you gotta find the vanilla beans. I'm just using this Nature's organic vanilla extract from Stop and Shop brand. I'm gonna start mixing this up. So when we put the dry ingredients in, we are gonna want a teaspoon of baking soda and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then in the end I'm gonna put walnuts in. You can really put as many as you want. Walnuts are the best. And I like the little crunch in the banana bread. Gives it a little more texture, makes it a little more interesting, I think. We are going to need 1.5 cups of flour. When it comes time. The butter is so close to being melted. I think I am going to turn on the oven to 350 because it will probably take me like 5 more minutes to mix the rest of the ingredients. The butter is pretty much melted. The cream cheese is pretty soft. I definitely should have broke up the cream cheese a little more, but it's pretty soft. It will mix in pretty well. We can pour the butter into the wet ingredients. The butter and the cream cheese. Stir it up. You know, I think melted butter is one of my favorite smells in the whole world. Bread. Oh, you can't beat a bread and butter. Just like white bread, some real or some even fake butter. I used to eat Smart Balance and think it was the shit. Alright, it's looking a little chunk, but that's good. That's fine. What are you gonna do? Next we have the dry ingredients. Baking soda, 1 teaspoon. I put my baking soda in a jar because I just don't understand why that you would put powder into a box. It makes 0 sense. Anyway, done with my rant. We need a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then 1½ cups of flour. Oh my goodness, I am running out of flour. 1/2, and then of course the most important ingredient of them all, the banana. The lockable banana. The recipe says you can cut it, but it's mush. It's all mush. It's gonna mush right up. Might take a little effort to mush it, but you guys have seen me mix. You guys have seen me knead dough. I can do it. As I think LMFAO said, a workout. So just get in there. Get in there as best as you can. I know I hear my oven. I never know when the actual oven is ready, but I think when it like makes its little grunt noise, like that's when it's like reheating. That's when I believe it's reached its temperature. I've never actually put a thermometer in there to double check, and it's an old oven, so it doesn't beep when the oven's at temperature. So I was bragging about how strong I was, but my arm's already tired. I can switch to the left hand. So kind of mush it into the side. So it's still looking a little bit chunky, but I don't mind getting a chunk of banana. Oh my goodness, almost forgot. Throw some walnuts in there. And as Stone Cold Steve Austin would say, hell yeah, brother. Oh, guys. Oh my God. Oh, baby. All right, let me show you what this looks like. So it's pretty thick, has a good consistency. Let me clear this out so you can get full pouring view. I like to use a spatula to get everything. Spatula. Honestly, I recommend getting a fun spatula. It's more fun to use them when you have a pretty spatula. I think I got this at the party store on sale, but you can get them at TJ Maxx. All right, ready for the pour? Oh yeah. Get every last little drop. You're gonna even it out. Now you are gonna bake this at 350 for 1 hour. Sometimes it takes longer. I would maybe check on it in 50 minutes to make sure that you're not overcooking it, but it always takes longer than I think it's gonna take. Yay! Let's put it in the oven. Okay, I am going to throw this in. It is in. Set the timer for 60 minutes. my trusty pig. Gotta wind it up. It's 57 minutes. Get yourself one of these too. These are good. All right, guys. So we still have 5 minutes left. So it's been about 52 minutes or so. Let's check it out, as Steve Brule would say. So it's not jiggling in the middle, so that's a good sign. And this is the toothpick trick. I'm sure you probably already know it if you bake, but if it comes out clean, it's done. And look at that. And would you look at that? She's clean. Just makes me scared now, you know, that it's not over baked, but you don't know. We never know. Turn off your oven. That's very important. Grammy, I'm talking to you. And we will come back and I will be eating some bread in front of you and I will give you my review. So there is an option you can do. You can put butter on top and then put cinnamon sugar, and that adds a nice little crunch. Today I'm not gonna do it. The banana bread has cooled. I have a plastic knife so that it doesn't scratch the table. I mean, so it doesn't scratch the baking dish. Smells unbelievable. Look at this. Look at this. Just look. Ooh. A little crunch from the walnuts. Another 10 out of 10 recipe. This is good in the morning. Put it in the toaster oven, add a little butter. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram. Thank you for watching.